Mark, and Melissa. We're going to start off today with the Gala ceremony that Danny's going to help us with.
Okay.
Yeah, come on, see.
Let me get
Thanks. So everyone, Havdalah is when we sort of leave the Shabbat, the holy experience of Shabbat, and we move on to into the week. We do a ceremony. It's called Havdalah ceremony. We lift a glass of wine, and we light a candle, and we smell spices. So if you just follow along, the ceremony is about 3 minutes, and we have one of Chloe's friends who's here from Binghamton University who came to lead us with Havdalah. So when we light the candle, the lights are dimmed and represents moving from the holy into the mundane. And every table there's some spices. If you just want to after the blessing, smell the spices. Michelle? The first time fire was created was on Saturday night. We try to see our fingers in the fire. So I'll just pass a second for the small spices.
Now Michelle and I are going to say a few words. It's never too late to be who you might have been, to do what you want to do, or change things about your life that you would like to see changed. That's why tonight is such a special night, because all of the participants have realized that even though they have passed the normal age of bar and bat mitzvah, they are still taking this amazing opportunity to participate in a Jewish milestone which they haven't done before. So mazel tov to everyone, or Mark, Chloe, and Melissa.
So I wanted to explain a little bit for people who don't really know the symbolism behind a bar bat mitzvah. So becoming a bar bat mitzvah is a coming of age milestone for a boy or girl who reaches his 13th or 12th birthday for a woman's case. The term bar mitzvah and bat mitzvah literally means son of a mitzvah and daughter of the mitzvah, or a person who becomes responsible to observe the commandments, mitzvot of the Torah. It is a rite of passage to adulthood, and according to Jewish law, bar bat mitzvah, boy and girl, is considered to be able to see the difference between right and wrong. They take on the commandments that God gave the Jewish people thousands of years ago. In essence, a responsible member of the Jewish nation. Reaching the age of bar bat mitzvah signifies becoming a full-fledged member of the Jewish community with the responsibilities that come with it. These include moral responsibility for your own actions, being eligible to be called to read from the Torah, lead or participate in a minyan for men, and may be legally married according to Jewish law. On a deeper level, the Kabbalah tradition says that a person's spiritual being has several levels of the soul. A new level of soul, called neshama, comes into awareness at bar bat mitzvah time. This is the time in your life when moral awareness and sensitivity fully develops. In Jewish life, a bar bat mitzvah should never be viewed as a graduation from Judaism, but rather as the bright beginning of a vibrant and fulfilling Jewish life. Bar bat mitzvah means to become educated and to strengthen one's Jewish pride through knowledge and understanding. It means to grow Jewishly, one step at a time. It means standing up for Israel and respecting every Jew. It means taking responsibility for the world and using the Torah as our guide. And most of all, it means to love being Jewish. This is the beginning of that journey, and we celebrate this on this joyous occasion. And now Rabbi Chaim is going to say a few words.
So everyone, Shavua Tov, Mazel Tov. It's wonderful to see. Wonderful to see everybody tonight. Wow, what a crowd. Unbelievable. I want to begin by giving a huge thank you to our two chairwomen who organized tonight. I'll tell you a secret. We came at 7 o'clock today, 7 p.m., and the custodians forgot to clean up last night's dinner. Last night we had Lorraine Harper here, her Mrs. Wife of Canada, and they didn't clean up. So we had an hour and a half to clean up yesterday's mess and set up everything. So I want to give Michelle and Caitlin, they've been shopping, they've been working non-stop and preparing tonight's dinner, and everything you see is their work, so thank you very, very much. Thank you. So let me start with Chloe.
Chloe.
Mazel tov, Chloe. I want everyone to know, we got to know Chloe in the beginning of this year. She came to the first Chabad dinner, and since then it's been so uphill. We're so proud of her accomplishments. She's been to 2 Shabbatons, one in New York, one in London. She's been to Israel, all within the matter of the last few months. And she's made enormous progress in her Judaism and her Jewishness, and she's a real shining example for everyone. So Chloe, Mazel tov, keep growing, and we're so proud of you. Mazel tov, Mazel tov. Melissa, we got to know you this year as well, and you're so active and coming and preparing and learning. Whenever an email goes out for an event, Melissa RSVPs within the first 5 minutes, and we love it. We just love it. First of all, because you RSVP, period. And second of all, because we know you're coming. So we're so thankful that you come, Melissa, and all the learning you do, doing signing scholars and J-Learn, and you've been on both Shabbatons to London and to New York, and we love that you're involved. So you make your parents so proud, you make us so proud, and we're so happy that you're part of the Jewish community on campus. So thank you very much. Thank you. I got to know Mark about, I think, 3 years ago, two and a half, 3 years ago. Year and a half. Feels longer. A year and a half. Mark comes every Shabbat morning to services, and Mark and I study together every Wednesday, and he's a real team player. And we just want to wish you and your family only success and blessing and happiness. And thanks for being part of the Jewish and Chabad community on campus. Thank you very much, Mark. Thank you. So, there's a story told of this Russian immigrant who came off the boats, and he didn't know any English. And he's walking down Fifth Avenue, Manhattan, and he sees a bunch of stores are dead. And then he notices one store is packed. And he doesn't know why it's so packed, but he sees a sign, opening sale. So he doesn't know what it means, but he writes down the words. Then he walks down Madison Avenue, and he sees a bunch of stores that are closed, that are very, empty. And one store is flooded and packed. And he sees the sign, closing sale. So he figures he's going to open a store, and he's going to put both the signs up on his store. Because he doesn't know what it means, but he knows that those signs bring people. So he goes, opens up a store, and he puts up one sign, opening sale, one sign, closing sale. And you can imagine, nobody comes to the store. In Judaism, a bar mitzvah is an opening sale. But sometimes people think it's a celebration and that's it. So tonight we're making sure that it's an opening sale and we're staying open for business. So we want to ensure that Chloe and Melissa and Mark, this is just the beginning. We're going to get more involved and do more, and we're going to just accomplish more and grow so much in our Jewishness. I said this before, but what costs more, a picture or a painting? What costs more? A painting. What's more accurate, a picture or a painting? So the picture is more accurate. Why does the painting cost more? And the answer is that in a painting, you put your heart and soul, and you work so hard on it. Picture is just a picture. And I think that some of us here tonight that are celebrating our mitzvah, we didn't necessarily grow up in Jewish environments, going to cheder, and going to yeshiva, and growing up going to shul so often. And yet on our own, we took made those choices to grow and go to shul and learn more. So I think tonight's bar mitzvah represents a real painting. Because you all put your heart and soul into something that people take for granted. So Mark, Melissa, and Chloe, Mazel Tov, you should grow and grow and grow and only have happiness, success, blessings, and everything good for you and your families. Mazel Tov.
Kaya is going to come up and say a few words as well.
Everybody here?
Shabbat Shalom, welcome to the Bar set 5 Symphony. Mazel Tov, Chloe and Melissa. Chloe and Melissa, I feel like you're my big sis. We had such a good time in New York and London together. I love when you come over. It's so beautiful to see how much you've grown in your connection and passion. Mark, every Shabbos, sunshine, and rain, you come to our class with us. My father tells me that you learn some Torah each week. The Torah tells us that a bar mitzvah is when Hashem gives us our special soul. That special soul always encourages us to mitzvahs. On your bar mitzvah, you're supposed to give extra charity and take on the extra mitzvah. Some examples are learning more Torah, buying Shabbat candles for girls, or keeping kosher. Mazel Tov again to Chloe, Melissa, and Mark. You always make your Hashem and your family proud.
Sammy, you could come up and say a few words. Oh, sorry, just kidding. I just had to, you come up here for pictures, please? Sammy, can you come up for pictures? So we're going to introduce everybody the Cuba Mitzvah girls, one and Mark, one at a time. If everybody could just be quiet again, please, thank you. So Mark is from Ottawa and a film critic for the Box Office Buzz. So everybody please give a warm welcome to Mark Humphrey.
Loud? Good? Perfect? Okay. Okay, so first of all, I want to thank you all for coming out tonight. I'm sure I'm not stepping across the line here and speaking for them, but your support for Chloe, Melissa, and me is very greatly appreciated. Speaking of Chloe and Melissa, muzzle tough, muzzle tough. Wish you both good health and happiness in your journeys forward. I'd like to thank my parents, foremost here, for not only being here tonight. Unfortunately, my mother was unable to make it tonight. She's not feeling well, but she sent me a whole bunch of muzzle toughs anyway, so it's fine. No, but I want to thank you for your undying love and ceaseless guidance and encouragement. It means everything to me. I would also like to thank Rabbi Yocheved Boyarsky, Caitlin, and Michelle. Without your help, this night would not have been possible, so thank you. The Embassy Hotel and Suites for offering the services, and then anyone else, of course, who's helped along the way. To Rabbi Chaim and Yocheved, I cannot thank you enough for all that you've done for me this past year and a half, offering an abundance of spiritual mentorship, helping me learn, opening up your home to me, and of course, the greatest gift, giving me the extraordinary privilege of meeting your absurdly cute children. Anyone who knows them knows this very well. Now, in light of the fact that I am finally a man, I'm only 19 and a half years behind the 8 ball on this one, so but they say baby steps, baby steps. But in all seriousness, I'd like to take the opportunity to use tonight's focal themes and share with you a brief lesson from what we read this morning in the Torah. I'm talking the golden calf. Allow me to summarize it in 6 words. Inspiration on its own is fleeting. We've all had moments of profound inspiration. At least I hope we have. Yet, I bet there isn't a single person in this room who cannot relate to the feeling of losing that euphoric spark. Now, imagine, if you will, the ultimate in divine inspiration. Obviously, the first thing that crosses your mind is our Jewish ancestry during the 1-year period of the Exodus and receiving the Torah at Mount Sinai. But again, just imagine the Jewish people had just witnessed the most incredible mysteries in the history of the world. The 10 plagues, the parting of the Red Sea, hearing and accepting the Torah from Hashem himself. You would think that from this most transcendent of highs, they'd be flying for life. But no, even after all this, they worship the golden calf. How is this possible? Well, it just goes to show us that even after the deepest of epiphanies, if not, can you hear me? Yeah, got cut off. Does that mean it's too much? Okay, so where was I here? Epiphanies. So even after all this, yes, they worship the golden calf. But it shows that even the deepest of epiphanies can, if not properly cultivated, lose their potency. So how is it then that we should reach higher and higher and fulfill our purpose as Jewish adults by tapping into the tools Hashem instilled in us on our bar mitzvahs? The answer isn't always easy, but it's inaccessible. In essence, it is incumbent upon us as individuals to use the blessings of inspiration as means to create for ourselves concrete, specific goals. That way, we can take the often vague and elusive qualities of inspiration, break them down to palpable, daily goals, and actually apply them. It is in this spirit that I wish to take the blessings of this wonderful night, and through setting for myself meaningful, practical goals, grow as a Jewish person with each passing day, each passing hour, and each passing minute. With the help of God, my family and friends, and my own inner strength, I begin this journey now. Thank you all again for coming, for all your love and support. L'chaim.
Okay, now we have Chloe. She's in her last year studying international development and globalization.
Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry.
Hi everyone. I would like to firstly thank each and every one of you for coming out this evening to celebrate with Melissa, Mark, and myself. Tonight's truly a special event for all of us here, and we really, really appreciate each and every one of you here to share this special moment with us. Now, if it's all right, I'd like to tell you guys a little bit about how I ended up right here. When I think about my life, I think about a tree. I think about a tree with a million little branches, each of its own shape and size, each of significant importance, but each very unique. Each and every one of us here this evening has our own stories and our own branches that make up who we uniquely are. In celebration of my bat mitzvah tonight, I had some deep thought into which aspects or branches of my life I'd like to share with you guys in order for you to better understand a snapshot of my life and my individual journey towards Judaism. I grew up in a home with a Catholic father and a Jewish mother. I was raised in a Catholic church and I attended Catholic school. Yet I always knew my mother was Jewish, and I also knew that because of this, I was Jewish. I just wasn't too sure what that meant. I had never met a Jewish friend, nor had I ever stepped foot in a synagogue. So to me, the idea of being Jewish was simply meaningless. If anything, it was something that separated me from my peers. I was always the Jew in the Catholic school, or so they like to call the Jewlick, the Jewish Catholic kid. There was a gap between me and my peers. I was a puzzle piece that was not put into the right puzzle, struggling to cram myself into a space that was not meant for my shape. It wasn't until my third year of university that I met my first Jewish friend, and that pivotal meeting led me down a path of exploration. I started learning. The more I learned, the more I loved. Not just the religion, but I came to love myself. Right before my eyes, my puzzle piece had found its spot. The spot the right size for my shape, a spot that was right for me. A light was ignited inside of me. A light that is impossible to extinguish, a light that will always be there. I am now going to fast forward my life and bring you to September of my fourth year of university. It wasn't until this past September that I gained up enough courage to go to the Chabad house for the first time. When I arrived that first Shabbat evening, I was greeted with warm welcomes and open arms. That was a shout out to you, Caitlin St. Pierre. And a tremendous community of people. After song, speeches, and l'chaims, my first ever Shabbat dinner had come and gone. And somewhere beneath all of the layers of built-up nerves, there was a strong sense of belongingness. Week after week, I continued to attend Shabbat dinners, and before I knew it, I'd met a great group of Jewish friends. Through the encouragement of my newfound friendships, I was told about a program called Sinai Scholars. I took this program with Rabbi Chaim, and I learned a tremendous amount about my Judaism and my life. I then enrolled in my Rebbitzins J-Learn class, where I was taught the deep mystical teachings of Kabbalah and how we are who we see ourselves to be, and we can change who we are by changing our thoughts and actions. This was a moment of great insight for me. Thank you, Yocheved. Now I'd like to bring you to this past December. This December I was given the opportunity to go to Israel through the Chabad program called Israel Links.
I'd like to share with you guys a little bit about my experience. To be honest, I was initially hesitant to go on this trip. I'd only been learning about my Judaism for about 8 months when the opportunity arose. After hours of convincing from Rabbi Chaim and countless phone calls from my brother Luke, I very reluctantly agreed to go, and this I'm forever grateful for. When I started my Israel Links application, there was a question that was required to be answered. It was written as follows: what do you hope to gain from this trip? My response was something along the lines of hoping to be able to get in touch with my Jewish roots. And yes, this was what I was hoping for. I wanted to pay tribute to my family lost in the Holocaust. This being said, however, I did not expect to go to Israel and realize that not only did I want to get in touch with my lost family members, but I yearned for something much deeper. Thanks to this trip, I realized that my family does not only consist of the last few generations, but I'm a daughter of Abraham and Sarah, and I'm a sister of each and every one of you in this room. My longing for my Jewish identity and family roots has expanded in the most incredible way possible. My self-perception and Jewish identity has forever been changed by this unbelievable experience. The 2.5 weeks that I spent in Israel, I learned to date myself. I was taught that to be Jewish means to invest, not only in one's physical self, but in our neshama. I learned that on one hand is to accept it, on the other hand is to question. I asked many questions on this trip, and I embraced every opportunity to learn and grow that came my way. Out of all the messages that I took away from this trip, one stood out in particular. I was taught that Judaism could survive without a synagogue, not without educating our children. With this, I would like to say that my Jewish education will never be taken for granted. The light that my first Jewish friend began to ignite inside of my soul, my Israel Links friends turned into a flame. Now my journey has begun, my light has been found, and I'm on a journey towards making my light brighter. Today on my bat mitzvah, I'm accepting the challenge that my parents have always thrown at me. I will walk through every door that opens, and I will embrace every opportunity to learn and grow. We do not stop playing because we are old. We grow old because we stop playing. There are only 4 secrets to staying young: being happy and achieving success. You have to laugh and find humor in every day. You've got to have a dream. When you lose your dreams, you die. There's a huge difference between growing older and growing up. If you're 45 years old and you lie in bed for 1 full year, you will turn 46 years old. If I'm 22 years old and I stay in bed for 1 full year, I will turn 23. Anybody can grow older. That doesn't take much talent or ability. The idea is to grow up and always find opportunity and change. Have no regrets. A lesson I've learned from Rabbi Chaim is that people usually don't regret what they did, but rather the things that they did not do. With this, I rest assured that Melissa, Mark, and I will not be living with the regret of not having celebrated our bar and bat mitzvahs. For this, I would like to thank each and every person who's played a role in the beautiful setup and arrangements of this wonderful event tonight. Your hard work and incredible efforts have not gone unnoticed. I'd like to thank Rabbi Chaim, Yocheved, Chaya, Risha, Mushka, Yehudis, and Rivka for devoting countless hours to my Jewish education and Hebrew studies. I'd like to thank my Auntie Lou, Uncle Mike and Charlotte, and Sister Katie for being there to hear all my stories about Israel over and over and over again. I would like to thank my friends from near and far for making such an incredible effort to be with me here today. I can't even explain in words how thankful I am that you are here. And last but not least, I'd like to thank my siblings, Katie, Luke, Simon, and my parents and step-parents, Peter, Jane, Steve, and Michelle. You guys have played such a tremendous role in making me who I am today, and I'm so grateful and blessed to have the most amazing family on earth.
Last but not least, I'd like to welcome Melissa. She's originally from Toronto, and now she's currently studying Aboriginal Studies at Ottawa U. So give a warm welcome to Melissa.
It's really nice for everyone to be here and being here for Chloe and Mark and I. I would like to tell you about myself. I became involved with Chabad in the beginning of the school year during Rosh Hashanah. I generally wanted to get involved with Chabad because I wanted to learn more about Judaism as well as about myself. I grew up in a Jewish home. I went to both my grandparents' homes for holiday dinners, including Rosh Hashanah and Passover Seders, as well as celebrating Hanukkah. I went to a once-a-week Hebrew school, learned about Jewish holidays, and learned the letters of the Hebrew alphabet up until Bar Mitzvah age. I have been interested in learning about aspects of Jewish life, and by growing up in Thornhill, there have always been aspects of Judaism all around me. Chabad has allowed me to learn more about Judaism by going to Shabbat dinners that are very welcoming, allowing me to spend time to focus on that time with friends and not to think about schoolwork and everything else that I've tried to do. Also, lighting the menorah during Hanukkah, and even if I wasn't able to spend Hanukkah with my family, it was very much like it. And learning about Judaism in a way that has helped me grasp certain concepts that I haven't really took much thought into. I have been able to take 2 incredible trips. One to an international Shabbaton in New York, where there were many workshops on everything from the weekly parsha to relationship to general common Jewish interests. We were also able to walk through the area where the Chabad organization began and see the headquarters of Chabad, as well as a Canadian-only Shabbaton in London, Ontario, where it was much smaller, though to the same effect had the similar workshops that discussed both specific and general Jewish ideas. Chabad has allowed me to embrace more of my Jewish identity and learn more about Judaism. I've also been able to take 2 classes, one called J-Learn Soul Maps, which has enabled me to look more deeply at the messages of Judaism and concepts such as Gala and Talmud, as well as the class that I'm currently taking, which is called Tiny Scholars, and has brought more attention to more overall concepts, but at the same time has allowed the class to look at about the more specific areas of Jewish concepts, such as meaning behind Shabbat. Since I haven't had a bat mitzvah, I thought this would be a great opportunity to have one now. I would also like to include that by joining this wonderful Jewish organization of the Chabad Student Network of Ottawa, I've been able to meet a lot of amazing people and taken everything that it means to be Jewish. I would like to thank Rabbi Chaim and Yocheved for allowing me to have this opportunity to have a bat mitzvah and encouraging me to learn more about Judaism and myself. I would also like to thank everyone that has been a part of the organization, including Michelle and Caitlin, and Carmen.
This is the last speech, I swear. I'm sorry if you guys are getting antsy and stuff, but I think that we should really thank the Boyarsky family for One more person, we need to thank our donor because honestly, without him, this Bar Mitzvah donors would not have been. It would not have been an opportunity we wouldn't have been able to do this. So thank you so much.
And now,